Hello, and welcome back to the second part of Everything Wrong with Animation, where I discuss, everything wrong with animation nowadays, the current state of animation. Before I begin this video, I just want to say that if you have not watched the first video, I heavily recommend you watch that video before you watch this one, just so you can understand what I'm trying to say with this, just so you can get more context as to what I'm talking about. And if you enjoy both videos, then be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as it will be greatly appreciated to help support the channel. So with that said, I don't really know what else to say, so let's just dive right into it. Let's continue on our journey as we explore every problem that animation has nowadays. Here we go. One of the biggest contributors to the death of animation is HBO Max, the streaming service for Warner Bros. You see, sometime in early 2022, Warner Bros. Merged with Discovery, which has all kinds of networks and stuff on, like, reality shows and whatnot. I don't really know a whole lot about Discovery, to be honest, but they merged. A lot of not so good things have come out of that merging, such as the cancellation of a Batgirl movie, which that does suck, but it has nothing to do with animation, so I'm not going to talk about it. What is actually related to the death of animation? HBO Max and how they're treating it. Now, there are two shows that I want to use as a prominent example of this. These aren't the only shows that have been affected by this, but though I think these are the two best examples of this. You have Infinity Train and Close Enough. I don't know exactly when, but both shows were canceled, and yes, it does suck that they were canceled, but if they were just canceled, then that's it. I've heard these were both really good shows, so it sucks when a show gets canceled like that, especially since I've heard Infinity Train is a really great show. But it would be one thing if they were canceled. Yeah, it would suck, but that's it. They just got canceled, and that's it. What HBO Max does is even worse than just canceling it. They straight up removed both shows off of HBO Max, just like that. And so now you have no way to watch them. Close Enough has never gotten any physical home media release. It never got a DVD release. It never got a Blu-ray release. It never got anything like that. And it got removed off of HBO Max. So there is literally no official way to watch Close Enough. You want to watch Close Enough? You gotta sail the seven seas, me mateys. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. This is already a bad thing because Cartoon Network kind of sucks when it comes to releasing their shows on home media. That's the thing. That's something I never liked about them when compared to Nickelodeon. They would almost never release DVDs and stuff for their cartoons. So to give you an example, Dexter's Laboratory. Dexter's Laboratory had 4 seasons, and of these 4 seasons, only the first season was released onto DVD, and that's it. None of the other seasons have ever been released on DVD. I'm sure there are VHS tapes of the show from the late 90s that might have some season 2 episodes, but that's about it. Seasons 2 to 4 have never gotten a home media release. Only season 1 has gotten one. Only season 1. And as if that wasn't enough, the season 1 DVD didn't come out until 2010. The show ran from 1996 to, I think, 2003, 2004, I don't know. And this first season DVD, not only is this the only season to be released of the show on DVD, but it's also the first DVD of the show in general. And it was first released in 2010. We didn't get, from 1996 to 2010, there were no DVDs of the show. Maybe you have compilation DVDs that feature episodes from the show, but that's about it. And that's actually ridiculous. And then you have entire Cartoon Network shows that to this day still don't have any home media release. Cow and Chicken has never gotten any DVD release at all. Never got one, probably never will either. As far as I'm aware, there were no VHS tapes of the show either, so that's out of the question. Again, maybe there are compilation DVDs that have different episodes from different Cartoon Network shows on it, and maybe Cow and Chicken could be one of them, but that's it. There has never been a Cow and Chicken DVD. So this is a problem that's been going on with Cartoon Network when it comes to home media. If this was bad back in like the 2010s and whatever, the 2000s, it's going to get even worse now. There were definitely other shows that got removed off of HBO Max, but Infinity Train and Close Enough, I think, are the two most notable examples. And the removal of these shows sparked a huge backlash. It made people cancel their HBO Max subscription. They started losing, subscribers and stuff, and like they lost a lot of money from it. And I remember back in late 2022 there was like this whole rumor going around that like they were going to shut down Cartoon Network and stuff. Thankfully that proved to be a hoax. They're shutting down the Cartoon Network building though, which that definitely sucks, I'm not going to lie. But Cartoon Network is still like alive. Like the network is still alive. Granted, it doesn't really have a lot of programming. You have Teen Titans Go, you have that baby spin-off of We Bare Bears, and that's about it, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong on that, but I really don't see anything else on Cartoon Network, so it's safe to say Cartoon Network is dead, honestly, because I really doubt it's gonna, like, a lot of stuff's gonna have to happen. Yeah, CN Real doesn't seem so bad now, all of a sudden. Maybe we treated it too harshly, guys. I don't know about you. So HBO Max has been removing a lot of these shows, and it's just incredible to me how it just further proves that animation is dying. I don't know the excuse that they used to justify like them removing these shows. That they claim, I think it's like something to do with the taxes. I don't know, but regardless, like you shouldn't remove entire shows off of streaming services just like that. Especially if it's like this is the only way you can watch this show. This is why physical media is so important. This is what makes physical media better than streaming services. Because at least with a DVD, you always have that cartoon there. It's always going to be forever preserved, and nobody's going to take it away. You can't, it's just, that's why it's so important. Physical media is better. VHS tapes, DVDs, Blu-rays, they're better than streaming services. And this is why I wish like more like streaming service original shows, like Netflix original shows, would get like DVD releases. I don't care if that would defeat the purpose of making them Netflix original shows. I don't care. I still want more of them on DVD. I want like the Disney Plus MCU shows. I want them to get like a DVD release, because you never know when something like this could happen. And then as well, you have, in related news as well, you have that whole ordeal when Nickelodeon banned the SpongeBob episode Midlife Crustacean because of the panty raid scene at the end. So they like took it off the air, and I think they removed it off of Paramount Plus. You can't watch it on Paramount Plus. But you don't gotta worry about that. I have the Sponge for Hire DVD. Look at the back. Boom. There's Midlife Crustacean. You ain't gonna take it away from me. You ain't gonna do that. I don't think so. But anyways, they removed these shows, and then just to make space for stuff like Velma. Yeah, I've already talked about Velma in the first video, so I don't really have anything to say. Actually, I do. Apparently, Velma got confirmed for a season 2. They confirmed a season 2 of Velma is in the works. So there you go. Even more proof that animation is dead. Animation is a dead art form. Thanks, Walt. Thank you for destroying this beautiful art form. Thank you. HBO Max isn't the only streaming service that's been dealing with this kind of nonsense. You have Netflix as well. And to be fair, Netflix isn't as bad as HBO Max in this regard. But all kinds of animated shows on Netflix have been canceled, or like they've just been in limbo, but they've most likely been canceled. You have Inside Job. That's like the most prominent example. You have the Cuphead show. You have Glitch Text. You have the 2021 revival of Johnny Test. You have all of that stuff. Just like that. Canceled. At least they don't remove the shows, but still, that's not really saying it much. And what we get instead, we get more Big Mouth. More Big Mouth. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired, honestly. We get all this stuff just canceled. Big Mouth gets like 4 million seasons. I don't even know who watches Big Mouth. Like, I've never seen anyone on the internet talk about Big Mouth. And I don't mean like, nobody likes Big Mouth, everyone hates the show. I've just straight up never seen anyone talk about it. Only on like rare occasions have I seen anyone talk about Big Mouth online. And every time I do, it's negative. It's never positive. So like, who is watching Big Mouth? Who? And this also ties into another point I made in part 1, where nobody wants to do anything original anymore. Everyone just wants to rehash old cartoons again because nobody has any new ideas. Inside Job, Infinity Train, like these are shows that they have original ideas. They have like new unique concepts in them, and they get scrapped in favor of nostalgia cash grab number 463. Just like that. Yeah, guys, remember Animaniacs? Remember the Fairly Odd Parents? Remember the Smurfs? Yeah. Who the was asking for a new Smurfs cartoon? Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad we got a new Smurfs cartoon. There are all kinds of original cartoons that they just got canceled, and they're never gonna see like the light of day again. They're just gonna get scrapped, canceled, just like that. But no, we can get a new Smurfs cartoon. That's great. That's just absolutely great. The 5 Smurfs fans in existence must have been excited when this thing got announced. Seriously. I really don't know what else I could add to this whole fiasco with streaming services disrespecting the art of animation. So I'm going to go and move on now. We are now going to explore another big problem with the current state of animation. More proof that nobody wants to do anything new. Everyone just wants to rehash the same old stuff that we had back in the day. Here we go. There's been a recent trend that Disney's been doing lately where they've been taking all of their older animated movies and making live action remakes of them, completely removing the soul, the heart that these movies had, and just making them soulless cash grabs. You could say that this trend unofficially started in the late 90s with that 101 Dalmatians remake. But honestly, though, I'd say it started in 2010 with the Alice in Wonderland live-action remake. And then in addition to that, you also had the 2015 Cinderella remake. And I consider these two movies to be kind of like the prototypes of the live-action Disney remake stuff. It didn't get really bad until 2017 with the Beauty and the Beast remake. And then once that came out, it became a massive success. And they just started pumping all of these out. They just started pumping these out because it makes money. Nostalgia sells. It really sells. In 2019, they released 4 of them in 2019. They released Aladdin, Dumbo, The Lion King, and Lady and the Tramp. That's 4 movies in one year. That's actually insane. I mean, yeah, one of them was a Disney Plus exclusive, but I don't care. It still counts. It still counts. And they're still going. They're still going. We got Mulan 2020. We got Pinocchio 2022. We're about to get a Little Mermaid remake. It just keeps going and going and going. It's never going to stop. There's going to come a point in time where like every Disney movie is nothing's going to be sacred. Nothing's going to be spared. Every Disney movie is going to get a live action remake. The thing that greatly disturbs me as well is the fact that there will come a point in time in the nearby future where we're going to get live action remakes of more recent Disney movies, or like Disney movies that they still feel recent, to me at least. Like, I guarantee you, in the late 2020s, early 2030s, we're going to be getting a live action remake of Frozen or Moana, and that's something that genuinely disturbs me. If I live long enough to see a live action Frozen remake happen, that's when I know that I've become very old, seriously. And the thing as well is, these movies, they have no heart in them, they have no soul, they're just devoid of anything. You know, look at the Lion King remake. You know, it's like the original was energetic, it had life in it, it was colorful, and then this live action remake, it just feels like I'm watching a National Geographic documentary. Like, there's nothing in it. It's bland, it's boring, it's soulless. Honest to God, it's soulless. The Jungle Book, I think, was like the only good one. The Jungle Book 2016 was the only good live action Disney remake. To be fair though, I can't really say because I saw it in theaters when it came out, and I barely remember what happened in it. So there's a chance that like if I rewatch it, I realize it's just the same like trash as the other ones. But for the time being, from what I remember, it was the only good one. It was the only good live action Disney remake. And if I want to be honest, Dumbo 2019 and Aladdin 2019 are both mild guilty pleasures, but that's mainly just because of Danny DeVito and Will Smith, respectively. They basically carry those two movies. Unfortunately, they're not enough to save them, but at least, they add a little bit of ironic value to their respective movies. Aside from that, though, these movies have been complete and utter with almost no value at all, just corporate cash grabs made to make money. And they always do. I'm pretty sure all of these movies, they've grossed more money than the original animated movies. Like, I know that, like, box office stuff was, like, different back then compared to how it is nowadays, and I know about inflation and stuff, but, still, it honestly hurts me the idea that, like, the 2019 Lion King remake has not only made more money than the original 1994 movie, but it's also the highest grossing animated movie of all time. Like, are you f***ing serious? And people wonder why animation isn't taken seriously. There you go, right there. More proof. More proof right there. DreamWorks is doing this as well. I swear to God. It was recently reported that we are getting a live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon. Are you serious? Come on, DreamWorks. Really now? I'm hoping this is just going to be a one-time thing and that they're not going to make any more. I'm very much sure this is going to be a one-time thing, because the difference between Disney and DreamWorks is that DreamWorks movies cannot work in live action. At least I could look at like Disney animated movies and be like, okay, I can envision what Mulan would look like in live action. I can envision what Beauty and the Beast would look like in live action. That sort of thing. At least, I could do that. But, like, with DreamWorks, it's like, how are you gonna make a live-action version of Madagascar? Like, how is that gonna work? How are you gonna make a live-action version of Over the Hedge? I don't know how any of that... I don't know how that's gonna work. I really don't know how it's gonna work. How are you gonna make a live-action remake of B-Movie? You know what? Make a live-action remake of B-Movie. Get Jerry Seinfeld back to reprise the role. Do it. Do it, In the old trailers for B-Movie, they have, like, this joke where like Jerry Seinfeld would dress up as a bee and reenact scenes from the actual Bee Movie, but in live action. And you know what? Bring that idea back. This dumb joke idea for trailers, bring it back. Bring it back. Just bring it back, okay? You know what? Make a live action remake of Megamind as well. Have Will Ferrell reprise the role of Megamind. Have him wear like blue makeup, have him like with the giant blue head. Just do that, Cast Markiplier as Metro Man. Actually, that would unironically be that would be the only thing that would justify the existence of a live action Megamind remake. Bro, the Queen of England joke's gonna hit differently now. Who knows if they're gonna keep it in or if they're gonna remove it. For real. For real. Yeah, but being serious, no one wanted a live-action version of How to Train Your Dragon, but whatever the case is, I'm just hoping this is just a one-time thing for DreamWorks and that they're never going to do it again. Considering that long joke I just made, I don't think it's going to happen with anything else aside from How to Train Your Dragon, so yeah. So between all these constant reboots and stuff, live-action Disney remakes, stuff like that, originality in animation is basically gone. Originality, innovation, creativity, like none of that's needed in animation anymore. All you gotta do is rehash, and rehash. And that's all you can do now. I want y'all to say sorry to these 4 shows. Yes, they weren't perfect, but at least they did something different. At least they were original. At least they were unique. They did something different. I swear to God, if I go in the comments section of this video and I see one person be like, actually, Johnny Test is a Dexter's Laboratory ripoff. It's not original and it's not unique, so you shouldn't include it among those cartoons. Bro, just shut up, okay? Just shut up. Please shut up. Please just shut up, okay? I will never forget how the cartoon community somehow managed to gaslight God knows how many people into thinking Johnny Test was always a bad cartoon. if you actually bothered to do any research on the show, or if you watched it from the beginning, as you should do for every TV show in existence, no exceptions, you would find out that Johnny Test actually started off as a really good show, but then it got bad as time went on. But nobody in the cartoon community wants to acknowledge that for some reason. Like, not even the highly respected, well-regarded cartoon YouTubers like Rebel Taxi or Saber Spark, not even they want to acknowledge this, and it genuinely doesn't make any sense at all. The cartoon community will waste their time making 30-hour-long theory videos over-analyzing every minor, insignificant detail that's in Steven Universe, Rick and Morty, and The Owl House, among other shows, but they won't take 5 minutes of their time to do some simple Wikipedia research on a cartoon that they unfairly hate on. God, I love being a part of this community. For real. Anyways, that's about it for these live-action remakes. I don't really know what I can say about them that hasn't been said by literally everyone else. They do nothing but further prove that animation is dead. They also further prove that Disney doesn't care about animation. At least back then, they did a little bit. Nowadays, it's a completely different story. So in the third part of this series, I will be dissecting the central point of these videos, being that Disney ruined animation. Disney is the reason why cartoons and whatnot will never be seen as a legitimate art form, no matter how hard we try. It's going to be a really controversial video, but I don't care, because it needs to be said. Everyone needs to hear it. Like Mr. Enter and Saberspark and all those other guys, they need to hear it. They need to hear it. I don't care. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, then be sure to like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And with that said, I'll see y'all next time. And adios.